Hi all, welcome to my League One Team of the Season predictions video. This one may see the appearance of at least 199, maybe 2. Time will tell, of course, but the big question as well is who does make the cut, because there is a few players in this I am a little unsure of. I'm going to give a good bash and a nice one, because smash likes always much appreciated. Sub the channel if you're new from it to it. Use the legend, all links down below for posting the channel and social media links as always. And remember to go through all the team of the seasons if you want to see who I've been featuring through, and you're welcome to scrutinise, agree and all that kind of good stuff down below as well, and go through them. So goalkeeping wise, the main three that I feel viable is Magnan, Navas and Lopez. I feel all three are pretty academic. Magnan's been a big part of Leo's season, keeping ample clean sheets. He has a couple of informs to name as well, and been crucial when needed in individual games. Keylor Navas, consistent as usual, same for Lopez, and that's why they have multiple special cards as well. Makes a big difference, it just reinforces it. Plus Navas usually always seems to, he's the goalie that will help sell the packs a wee bit as well if he's a high enough rating, but obviously when goalies in FIFA aren't most desirable anyways, it doesn't help matters. Defence, Marquinhos, Kimpembe are, I would deem, locks. Font and Klaus are as well, if I was to be honest. Who takes the flip? For the Font, Marquinhos, Kimpembe, Klaus. If I'm for debate between Font and Klaus, maybe +9s or +8s or whatever, depending how, if they get in our special card I suppose, because League One in theory is usually very late, so there's room for another inform or another special card. Marapan should take the 5th spot, I would say. Defensively been very consistent this season, kind of showing why Monaco bought him in the first place, and he could easily be like to a +10. It's just a question of boosting that pace up, and I think that's what will happen with Font as well. Both will get major pace boosts, say like +25, +30, something to make them usable. And if you were to pack them. And Silva's my last shout. I think the 6th defender, as it were, could be up for debate, or if they do 5, it's time will tell, but I feel De Silva from Rennes is the next most viable. Midfield is probably the one area of the League One team that is massively up for debate. Everyone will probably say different, I will be brutally honest, they probably will. Savigny could sneak in the starting 11, but I doubt it because he's not really got any specials. So if it'd been like previous years, he's the type of player that could be like a +15 almost, like, and he'd suddenly maybe be in starting 11. But Bamba, Verratti, Aouar should be the main 3 mids at start. Aouar I'm a bit dubious with, but his form throughout the season, though, regardless, despite not buying any informs, he has 2 non-performance related specials, which doesn't help, but he still should do enough to sneak in the team of the season. Bamba obviously has a couple of informs, player of the month and headliners, so that helps his case out, so fair play to him. And Verratti, despite having a foot freeze that's a left mid, I still fancy him. He always seems to just, he's steady but consistent really, but he's also one that could be missed out, but for somebody else in PSG midfield like a Di Maria or trying to think, like Idrissa Gueye possibly, but can't really see it. It's like Verratti always just seems to get in a team season, even on the season. He's like Thiago Silva back was in the old days. Thiago Silva used to always just get team of the year, team of the season, and sometimes you're like, does he deserve it? And you sometimes just didn't question it, and I think that's what happened. Verratti's another one of those type of players, it just happens. Then obviously other mids, Akoni, his position's a little bit up for debate because he plays right mid and striker, but I fancy his chances. Boulaya has a player of the month obviously, and despite that I feel he has done enough to at least merit being in the team of the season for Metz. I would say there is a shout that he could be dropped for anyone like Kadewere, Kakuta, Yaziki, or even a York, for example, or Lord, but Boulaya definitely deserves at least being featured, where he gets in. He's also the type of player that could get in the... I can't see it. Like, I'd noted them down in my most consistent list. I'd like a list of, say, like, if you want to say like 100 players. I had kind of mentioned, like, I had noted them down, but I thought viably could he happen? I thought maybe just the league rather, because playing one through the special rules makes things a little bit tricky. But see what happens. Boulaya will feature somewhere, regardless. He might even be in the team of the season vote, like, for community, depending on once this is live, obviously, because with all the leaks and all that were circulating around, you never know, but time will tell. Mavididi should be my last mid as well. Been very consistent for Montpellier. Mavididi, Laborde, Delort and Savigny, the four of them have just been instrumental in Montpellier's season. It's just a pity they've not been consistent all season, because then if I'm honest, the four of them could have been helping challenge Montpellier, not just for Europe, but I even think the title, if they were consistent all season. That's my personal opinion. Mbappe, I think, will be 99. That should be pretty academic. Neymar could be 97, 98. They're going to try and make him as good as possible. It's like no denying it. Come on, it's FIFA, for goodness sake. Ben Yedder, multiple specials. It's just a question of what rating, really. That's all it's going to be. Volland, another one. Monaco just kind of doing the business, and I had a bit of dubiousness about Volland going there, but he's done well, so fair play to him. Then Depay should be pretty academic as a centre forward. Leon, I'm maybe doing a slight disservice to only giving them one forward position, but we'll get into this in a minute. And the last spot, as I said, with Montpellier's main four attacking options, Delort as an inform and a player of the month, and looks like a team of the season will be inbound for him yet again. I think he's had a couple good team of seasons in the past. I remember his past, he had a good silver one back in the day, for those, like a good throwback. So that's my 23. Golovin's probably the Golovin, De Silva, Boulaya, Verratti, maybe the ones that are in the doubts. Even you could loosely say Aouar as well, maybe loosely Akoni. So there's always 6 or 8 that could be dropped, and this is when we get into like the content that could drop, that could justify who could feature, because I genuinely think between the team of season moments, the objectives, the SBC cards, there could be a lot of potential. So Kadewere, Guri and Gurasi, all 3 are viable for team of seasons, especially Kadewere. Kadewere will get in the community, he'll be in the 100 vote, like, you know, when you get your 100 cards to vote, he'll end up in that easily. He's like a lock. How he hasn't had an inform yet is beyond me, or even a player of the month card, because the month that he ran riot, he was like the best player in France by a mile. Guri's been consistent for Nice, and somehow hasn't got an inform either. Guri's flashbacks, I've went for Fovan, Yilmaz and Bouanga. Fovan, I know, has a what if, and it's just a way to boost him up. Yilmaz has an inform, it's one way to boost him up even further. Bouanga's just been working his socks off as best he can, like Kazri for Etienne as well, who could even be another one for a flashback, potentially. And for team season objectives of SBCs, kind of like the moments that we mentioned, Diaf could be a shout despite the league position. As York of Strasbourg, despite the league position, he's been consistent with the goals. Gil Kakua, I would suspect, could even be somebody that's in the community vote. Laborde, Yaziki as well, and like even like from an R flashback view, you could say like Rajkovic as well. But Ligue 1 is the last of the big 5 leagues. It's going to be tricky regardless, and we'll give it a good bash nonetheless. But let me know, folks, in the comments below who you think could feature for Ligue 1, whether it be in the main team or as a content or SBC card in the that week, as it were. So smash the likes, always, folks, very much appreciated. Sub to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you all later.